right. So there we are, live on Zoom. And Zulma Gonzalez, I'm going to turn it over to you for A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical traditions. So here you are, Zulma. The mic's all yours.
A thankful Thursday family. It has been wonderful. I came in and had a chance to hear all kind of goodness from Just Breathe to You Gotta Laugh to Susanna singing, watching her sing, because I've heard it numerous times. And wait a minute, and I think you were here, Susanna. Susanna's in the room. For those who are listening to this, Susanna's over there. You were here one day. I don't know because I saw you, Regis, and it came up and you sang it that day too. And it was like, oh, this is so cool. It's like you're celeb to me. You're a celeb. Thank you for you. Oh, it's a wonderful day. Is it not a wonderful day? Every day, a wonderful day. So thankful. This little thing here is being very active this morning. I've given him a little something to calm him down. Let's see if that works. Oh, he wants to get under my shirt. He likes getting under what I have on so he can lay down. But okay, relax. Anyway, anyway, it's been such a busy week that I don't remember any of it. How about that? I have no clue. Um uh Stories though, not my own. I went to Texas to go visit my mother, my bestie's mother, who celebrated her 102nd birthday on February 15th. And that was good. That was good. And just um I noticed the beginning of a change. She has since gone in the hospital, and they're making arrangements now to take her home. Um, uh, but she's still, they bring her pancakes. She's like, "What kind of breakfast is this? This isn't breakfast." She's still um, conscious and alert and aware in most cases, and it's a wonderful thing. It's just who she is. So that's been that, and what's going on around that. It's interesting about family, and I'm kind of grateful, really grateful that I was my mother's only child because some of the stuff I hear is outrageous. It's really, really outrageous. But so I've heard some outrageous stuff, and I just tell the person who's telling me to stay prayerful and keep themselves in prayer, um, knowing that it's all working for the highest and the best, no matter what, whether it feels like it or not. It's working for the highest and the best. Um, That's all I've got. I've gone from working 8 hours 3 days a week to 10 hours 3 days a week. I'm grateful for that. So I can pay off this car just a little bit quicker. Um, which I love, by the way. I went from a 21 Hyundai Elantra to a 21 Hyundai Sonata, which has more features. It's fun. It's really fun. It adjusts to my back. I like that. It's really cool. Anyway, all right. So let's see what we've got today. I am not a lot, not a lot that's was shared with me to present. So I'm not going to present a lot. Let's see what happens. Of course, we're talking about A Course in Miracles. Oops, let's put the slideshow on. Why don't we? Slideshow. Current slide. A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and other metaphysical teachings. We have the teachings of um, numerous teachers, numerous master teachers who have shared with us and given to us, and the wonderful thing is that because truth is truth, no matter what, it all comes out the same way. I'm grateful for that. I am truly, truly grateful for that. Um, I'm not going to name names. You can always go on YouTube and read them for yourself. I don't know how that slide got there. Let's see what just happened. What in the world just happened? La la la. That was last week stuff. Oh, look at that. All these slides that I don't know what I hit. All right, there we go. Here we go. So our reminder, our weekly reminder, mind your mind. Basically, mind your own doggone business is what it comes down to. Mind your mind, because that's all we really have. From ancient Egyptian proverb that the study of the wisdom teachings should be a continuous process in which the teachings become the predominant factor of life. The predominant factor of life. The wisdom teachings, continuous process, predominant factor of life, rather than the useless and oftentimes negative and illusory thoughts of those who are ignorant of spiritual truths. And why and what that's saying is, it's saying guard your thoughts. It's saying actively engage with God. These are course teachings. Actively engage with God. Continuous process. In the Bible, it reads, pray without ceasing. Continuous teachings. A continuous process to make it the predominant factor. To make God not the center of my life, but to make God all of my life before me, like the song from Karen Drucker, gratitude before me and gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, and gratitude all around me. Like as I hear Susanna, she's singing the song. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Um, a continuous process are the predominant factor. God is, and therefore I am. And because God is and I am, why would I not want to make God the root, the foundation? Why would I not want to make God the most important thing in my life? And because of that, there are times when the thoughts come, the thoughts come, and I have to remember, wait, back to God, back to God, back to God. Those aren't my real thoughts, because my real thoughts are going to bring me peace. Joe Goldsmith writes that morning, noon, and night, we must watch our thoughts. We must watch our thoughts. Again, the course says engage with God, guard your thoughts. We're too tolerant of mind wandering. We're too tolerant just letting the thoughts go, just saying whatever the heck we feel like it. Just, whatever comes out, it's okay. And we don't care who's affected by it. And well, I'll come to that. Dr. Ernest Holmes teaches that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. To learn how to think is to learn how to live. And Christian Larson writes that we naturally become master over all life, naturally become master over all life when we can understand and master the process of thinking. Before we can master the process of thinking, we have to understand the process of thinking and realize that it is a process. The Course teaches that all thoughts, that the mind never stops, that decisions are continuous, but we have to understand this. I just told this to someone day before yesterday, having a conversation night before last, that decisions are continuous, that we have to continue to decide. I talked about when I was active as a nicotine addict, the day I decided that it was going to be that I wasn't going to smoke that day, the next day I had to make that decision again. I decided I'm not going to use today. And again, I decided I'm not going to use today, to the point where it became such a continuous process, as the proverb says, the Egyptian proverb says, it became such a continuous process that I don't consciously have to think about, I don't have to consciously decide not to smoke a cigarette, not to use nicotine. It's automatic now. It's a part of me. Not using nicotine is just a part of me. So I had to understand the process of not using before I could master the process of not using. And that's what we're being asked to do with our thinking. Because, as the Course reminds us, an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. We have to train our mind. We have to teach ourselves continually. And it's during those times, those things that fall that we let fall out of our mouths, and someone says, you know, I notice you're still talking about that thing. You keep bringing that thing up. Why? What's up with that? And, why is a low level question. I mean, we know why, um, but sometimes that we're not aware that we continue to say the same things over and over again. We're not aware that we're talking about the same people over and over again, not necessarily in a good way. We're not aware. We just think it's, I'm going to say this because I think you want to hear it, because I think that you want to hear it. But my question is always, if the person were there that you're talking about, would you say it? That's a question. It's just a question. An untrained mind can accomplish nothing. We have to continually train our minds and continue to train our minds and continue to train our minds. Okay, just a little bit about fear. Um, just a little bit, just a little bit from a quote. It's Women's History Month, so I said I was going to have a quote by a woman every week this month. This is by Susan Jeffers from the woman. This is from Susan Jeffers, the woman who wrote "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." And there's more to that title. It's lengthy, and I realize now I really had room. I could have put the whole title on there, but anyway, Susan Jeffers, "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway." And she writes, "You may be surprised and encouraged to learn that while inability to deal with fear may look and feel like a psychological problem, in most cases it isn't. I believe, and this is her belief, that it is primarily an educational problem, and that by re-educating the mind, you can accept fear as simply a fact of life rather than a barrier to success." And I find it interesting that she says that. It's an educational problem. We were taught to fear. It was something we were taught to do. We didn't just, you know, we weren't born necessarily afraid. Now, granted, we came on the scene, our little bitty bodies, our physical bodies came on the scene. We came out of a warm, dark place, ended up in some all this bright light, noise, and whoever else, and who knows whatever else, and that may in itself have been a traumatic experience. We were taught that. And then came, as we got older, just, itty bitty babies, and the parents yelling, and the situations that we experienced around that. And we became afraid. And then there was be careful, you're gonna hurt yourself. We were taught to be afraid. So fear then is not natural. It's not natural. It is an educational problem. It is something that we were actually taught. We were taught to be afraid. And nowadays we say that fear is having faith in what you don't want. Because anyway it goes, fear is coming out of something that we really can't see. The course teaches to look at what you're afraid of, and only the anticipation will frighten you. All right. So that by re-educating the mind, you can accept fear as simply a fact of life rather than a barrier to success. So from the course, I'm repeating what I wrote came last week, couple of it from last week, that the world, from the preface in the course, the world we see merely reflects our own internal frame of reference, the dominant ideas, wishes, and emotions in our minds. Projection makes perception. What we project out there, we're coming from inside, putting stuff outside, and then we think that what's outside is what is. We look inside first, the course teaches. We look inside first, decide the kind of world we want to see, and then project that world outside, making it the truth as we see it. So when when I'm listening to stories, I'm listening to stories, I'm listening to the projection of whoever's telling the stories. It's the way they see it. It and of course, the people telling the stories think that, well, this is the way it is. I mean, this is what happened. But it's only one piece of it. It's only one piece of it. And the rest is all judgment. Okay. I'll come back to that. We make it true by our interpretations of what it is we're seeing. I make it true. Yep, that's what I saw. That's what I heard. Then that's what is. And somebody wrote, we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. We don't see life as it is. We see it as we are. So all of our upsets, you find ourselves, we have that anger problem. Yeah, that anger problem. And I love how the course says, well, isn't that just, somebody not doing things the way you think they should do it? Anger problem. Love it. We um we we get angry because somebody's not acting the way we think they should. And there we go, shooting on people once again. And we swear we're right. We think we know because what? Because we've had experiences, because we're older, because we think we're wiser. We think that because we're students of A Course in Miracles and other metaphysical teachings, that we know. You don't know. I can see how this is not good for you. So let me tell you. Oh, you don't want to hear what I have to say? Oh, so now I'm angry because you're not doing what I think you should do. All right. The only sane solution is not to try to change reality, which is indeed a fearful attempt, but to accept it as it is. Isn't that what this woman just said? It is to accept fear as simply a fact of life rather than as a barrier to success. Accept it as a fact of life rather than as a barrier. Oh, I shouldn't be afraid because I shouldn't be afraid because I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. I shouldn't be afraid because I'm just making this up. I get that I'm making it up, but going back again to that process, that continuous process, a continuous process where we could where we're teaching and learning, teaching ourselves the predominant factor of life that the continuous process where the teachings become a predominant factor of life. We continue to teach ourselves that we should be afraid. And when we do, then we teach ourselves, that, oh, wait, I'm making this up. That God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. I'm forgetting that what I'm seeing now is not as I'm not seeing it as it was created. I'm seeing it, but I'm not seeing it as it was created. I'm not seeing it from reality's perspective. If I see it from reality's perspective, there's no place for the fear. There's no place for it. It comes, but yet the course reminds us that everyone experiences fear. It doesn't say that everyone is fear. Fear is an experience. According to the course, it's an experience. That's not a feeling. I was just thinking, because the book was titled "Feel the Fear," and actually it's to experience the fear. Because we think that we make it a part of us. Watching a movie, and there's that scene where somebody's behind the door, and the person coming in the room, the good guy, the good one, is coming in the door, and we're afraid for them. We're afraid for them. That's an experience, and it goes away the second that person comes in the room, and they already had an inkling, they had a feeling that somebody was there, and they go into their power moves to diffuse the situation, and we're not afraid anymore. See, truth doesn't come and go. Truth is not an experience. Truth is a fact. Truth is just true. Truth is God. Truth is life. It's a fact. And it doesn't change. It doesn't change. So everyone experiences fear, yet it would take very little right thinking. Oh, that doggone right thinking to realize why fear occurs. And I'm not going into all that any more than what I just said, that it's believing in what we don't want. Few appreciate, the course continues, few appreciate the real power of the mind, and no one remains fully aware of it all the time. No one. Few appreciate the real power of the mind. I don't care how long you've been a student, I don't of whatever teachings you, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Not one. No, not one appreciates continually appreciates. No one is fully aware. No one is fully aware of the power of the mind all the time. I don't care what master teacher. No, no one. No one. That's that human thing. In the Bible it reads, that we've all missed the mark. Sure we have. Because we are processing, we are learning and moving through these processes. We are teaching ourselves or being taught, however it goes. We are teaching ourselves how to live in this life, how to navigate everything out here. So no one is fully aware. I was oh, you know what? I have to find this place from Science of Mind, from Ernest Holmes. Okay, from the Bible. I was judgment. This jumped in my head this morning. Just jumped in my head. I'm like, okay, I got to do it. Got to do it. And it goes back to the fear. It goes back to spending our time talking about what other people are doing. A few days ago, there was a lot of hubbub going on about people talking about other people. A lot of hubbub around it, to the point where the majority of the people didn't want to hear it. No, that's annoying. And we're too spiritual to just say shut up. But Lord have mercy, we're thinking shut up. Well, here's how it's written that Jesus said it. It's written that he said it this way. I don't know if he said it or not. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I don't know, but it's written, judge not that you be not judged. Which and it's interesting that because before this was explained, before I understood this from the course, with actually the passage right under this biblical quote, I understood this. I understood it. That you be not judged. I took the time to meditate before I knew it was meditating. I took the time to meditate on that. What does that mean? How does that mean to not to judge so that I'm not judged? I'm like, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. It's coming from me. This is before I knew what projection makes perception means. I didn't know what that meant, but it made sense. Judge not that you be not judged, because it's what's coming out of me is what's in me. It's coming from within. For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And how could it not be? How could it not be? What goes around, there it is, the famous expression, what goes around comes around. What I'm putting out there is it's boomerang. It's coming right back to me. My world is mine. I'm making it up as I go along. So everything in my world, if I decided that, that sapphire blue is my color, then everything around me is going to be sapphire blue. So anything I throw out there with sapphire blue is going to come back to me, sapphire blue. And the writing continues. And why do you look at the speck in your brother's eye, but do not consider the plank in your own eye? Love this. Or how can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye, and look at the plank, and look, a plank is in your own eye. There's actually in the New King James Version, this was like the word is, a plank is in your own eye. It was italicized. Hypocrite. See, that's the same as one to say, shut up. So now we just go to the biblical passage and we say, you hypocrite. First, remove the plank from your own eye. Look at yourself. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. Miracles are everyone's right. I have the right to change my mind about anything. I have the right to remove the plank from my own eye. I have the right to be purified. I have the right to be in truth. I have the right to recognize and know the love of God, to learn and to know that God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. But I can't do that if I'm being a hypocrite, if I'm holding on to this plank in my eye. I'm covering I'm covering my ability to have vision. I'm covering my vision, not my sight, but my vision. And I'm using sight to prevent vision. I'm using what appearances. I'm judging by appearances. I'm using the appearances as to prevent me from recognizing the love of God that I am. I am the love of God. You are the love of God. We are the love of God. We are the idea in the mind of God. We are created in that image. We are created like God. We are that. I am that. I am. So, first, remove the plank from your eye. Clear yourself, purify so that you can put yourself in a position to experience vision. Remove the plank from your own eye, and then you will see clearly. To remove the speck from your brother's eye. And now we're talking about and being careful even then with that section, chapter 9, the correction of error. I love that section. Chapter 9 and the correction of error, which talks about me thinking I need to correct you. Why? Because I've had more experience in that area. Why? Because because I'm older. Why? Because I can look at what you're doing with your life and I can see that you're messing it up. Is that really true? Messing it up, what does that mean? You're on your journey. I'm I'm looking at the stuff that's happening whew, out here. I take I take an injection every couple of weeks. And this has nothing to do with, or maybe it does. Um, I take an injection every couple of weeks that assists me in my breathing. I take Dupixent, and for some reason, I didn't, I didn't get the notification that it was time to refill my prescription. Oh, wait a minute, God, days are passing. I'd already had the last dosage that I had. And I make the phone call and I order it, and the more days pass and I don't hear I don't, I don't get anything back. And so I call the pharmacy and they tell me that they call the specialty pharmacy and they said it's being processed. Okay. And more days pass and nothing. So I call the specialty pharmacy yesterday. And I have to admit that there was a bit of trepidation. I was, because this medication, along with my belief in that it'll work, has assisted me tremendously. I can breathe. There was a period of time where I couldn't talk a sentence. I couldn't do 3, 4 words without, you know, this heavy um, search for breath. So I called yesterday and um, after we got it straight, the medical plan had changed from being federal employee benefits FEB to some postal plan. As you know, I used to work for the postal service. It's a postal plan. Along with this postal plan, obligated to get Medicare Part D. All right. Um, so I'm already thinking, okay, more money coming out, and then um, and this medication has been provided for me free of charge all this time except once. So yesterday I'm told that it's going to cost me $75 um, every month now in order to get this medication. Now, I am not of the belief that that's going to continue to be so. But again, I had that moment of, I had a moment of judgment and fear. Um, because that's like more money coming out, and there are other things going on in my life that the unexpected things, and um the uh relationship that I had where there was a purchase, and now that person, she's not doing what she was supposed to do, and that's more money coming, and all that. And I had that moment. I had a moment where I'm like, you know, they are taking my money. They are putting me in a position where I'm not going to have any. I, I mean, I had a moment. I had a real moment. Talk about going into fear. So I had to look at, in order to calm down, I had to, just like it says here, remove that plank from my own eye. Get past that they. Just let that they stuff go. Remove it from my own eye so I can see clearly, so I can go back to God, so I can go back to peace, to go back to the fact that I have $75 to pay for it if I have to. I have it. I do. I have it. So what? It's $75. Um, and I had to look at it that way, because am I going to get myself in a bundle because I have to pay $75, or am I not going to pay the $75 and not get the medication that has been helping me for the last few years to breathe? I have a choice. I can say no, I'm not going to do it, and say, okay, we're not going to pay medication, and then I'd have to give up my Thursday here because I wouldn't be able to talk, because I wouldn't be able to breathe, because I wouldn't be in the physical. Anyway, um, I went into the they mode. And that's the moment when I forgot that they and I are one. And this could be a misunderstanding, because just like once I had to pay, this may be a fluke, and I may be able to work around. In other words, the miracle was my right, but purification was necessary first. I had to be willing to change my mind about the whole thing and just say, all right, I'll go with it. I'll accept. I accept. I accept rather than resist, because resistance will cause pain every time. Removing the plank from my own eye. All right. The Course teaches that when the Bible says, judge not that ye be not judged, it means that if you judge the reality of others, you will be unable to avoid judging your own, because the others, so called others, and I are one. We are one. So I had to decide, calm down, Zulma. Judging you isn't doing anything. It doesn't make me better. It doesn't make me smarter. It doesn't make me anything more or make you less. Judging you because you don't do things the way I think you should do them makes me a judge, makes me an ego acting judge. And that's all. And everybody has their own path. And we say that, oh yeah, and then we judge them. Or we judge them and then we say that. Either way, we're spending too much time. I, in my moments, spend too much time judging the actions of others. I may be thinking about somebody now who I think is doing it. Judging the actions of others, trying to control, having that authority problem, thinking that I can control stuff that's not mine to control. What's that song? He's got the whole world in his hands. God's got this. God's got it. So it's about not judging, not judging, not judging. I am going to stop share only for a moment, because I want to um, drop share here and then share here. Uh-huh. So This is from the 365 by Ernest Holmes. 365 days of spiritual wisdom or something like that it's called, by Ernest Holmes. And this is July 13th. Oops, lost it just like that. Um, July 13th. I judge and am judged with the justice of God. And from the Bible, John, the Gospel according to John, chapter 5, verse 30, my judgment is just. It's written that Jesus said, my judgment is just because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father which has sent me. And what I like about that is that the same Father that sent the writer here, Jesus, um, well, no, Jesus was not the writer. The same Father that sent the person named Jesus in the Bible, who was supposed to have said this, is the same Father that sends me, that sends you. So we're asked to make a righteous judgment. It's written, make a righteous judgment, make a right judgment, which means don't judge with the physical eye. Ask, ask, ask God. Ask. What I don't have to worry about what to say, what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. Ask for that direction, ask for that guidance, so that you can see it rightly. And maybe, just maybe, you won't have anything to say at all. You just see it and judge not. It's written, Jesus, the greatest of all the illumined, said, judge not that ye be not judged, but with the judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. By which he meant that we cannot judge others harshly without receiving back into our own consciousness and experience the very things we claim for others. Isn't that what the Course just says? If you judge the reality of others, you will be unable to avoid judging your own. I'll repeat that. It's written in the Course that if you judge the reality of others, you will be unable to avoid judging your own. Ernest Holmes says, we cannot judge others harshly without receiving back into our own consciousness and experience the very things we claim for others, saying the same thing. While Jesus was the most compassionate of all people, he was also the most just, for he knew that our lives are governed by an exact and immutable law of cause and effect. And the Course speaks to that. The Course speaks to that when it's written, that it's about tampering, the voice of the Course not tampering with that law, because nothing outside of me can remove fear from me if I'm the one that put it there. That would be tampering with the law of cause and effect. I am the cause of my own fear. Anyway, Dr. Ernest says he knew, and we all must learn. He's talking about he, Jesus, knew, and we all must learn that it is impossible to wish something for someone else without at the same time willing it for ourselves. So when we sit back and talk about that person who is doing that thing and how we wish that they would just, I don't know, drop dead or something, we may not say that out loud, but we think it. We wish that we wish harm on others. Oh, not we might not be too much. Just that they would just go somewhere. It is impossible to wish something for someone else without at the same time willing it for ourselves. If we all were to follow this rule, we should become more kind, if only for the purpose of self-preservation and personal happiness. For no one, I'll say, in their right mind wishes to injure himself. No one in their right mind wishes to injure themselves. So why then am I wanting to injure another body? Why am I, someone else? And I'm saying another body because if I'm saying something outside of me, someone else, then that is something outside of me. Then that's a body. But why? If I don't want to hurt my body, why would I want to hurt your body? If I don't want to injure myself in any way, why do I want to injure you? And I need to look at that because clearly, if I want to injure you, I do want to injure myself. And it's an insane mind. It's an insane mind. It's an insane mind. No one in their right mind wishes to injure himself. Always then, we are placed in this position. We dare not wish anything for anyone that we would be unwilling to accept for ourselves. I listened to someone talking about how they wish that this individual would leave this, person in their life alone because they're, this is the witness, this is the person who's seeing this relationship, and they don't like the way this person is treating the other person, and how they continue to lie to this person, and how they continue to toy with this person, and all that. Okay, so I have to jump in because I don't want to hear it. After a while, it's just too much because it's the same thing over and over and over again. Um, and I said, well, first of all, that what is being experienced, that person couldn't experience if they didn't allow it. You know, that person couldn't act this way to that person if that person wouldn't stay there and accept that. True, true. And it's not your business. It's not your business. You are troubling yourself with something that is not yours. Step away. Step away. Because while you're having all these bad feelings about that person and how they're treating that other person, those bad feelings are coming on you and things are happening. Notice the feelings that you're having about these things. You're causing yourself pain. So always then we are in a position we dare not wish anything for anyone that we would not wish, that we would be unwilling to accept for ourselves. If everyone were to live by this rule, there would be no injustice in the world. The Course talks about the golden rule, treating others, doing unto others as we would have them do unto us. The only problem with that is if I have been accustomed to being mistreated, quote, quote, mistreated. I'm talking about in the physical, because the Course teaches. And by the way, the only time the word beware is in the Course is right here. Beware, beware of being perceived as being unfairly treated. That's the only time the word beware appears. But if I perceive myself as being unfairly treated, which means then I am unfairly treating myself, if I think that that's a way of life, then I have to act in ways that reflect, again, projection makes perception. I have to act in ways that reflect the very thing that I say I don't want. Like an individual I know who continually talks about how people used to, how things used to be and how bad things used to be. She's always bringing it up because I'm not going to accept anybody talking to me that way. But she's talking about things that are she's talking about what used to be, and she's talking about it as if, And I'm not going to tolerate that in the future, but you're bringing it into the future. You're bringing it with you. I continually talking about it. Don Miguel Ruiz talks about being impeccable with your word. That means, say what is good for you. Say what is good for you. Speak only the truth, not the pretentious, the make believe stuff of what could be and how I'm going to say what I'm going to say if they talk to me this way again, and because they used to, and I had to cut them off, and this stuff. I don't want to hear it. Shut up, hypocrite. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. This From this point on in this reading, it is a prayer. Oh, there's something going on in the chat. Let's see what's happening here. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, Dove, thank you. Let's see. Yes, to beware of the temptation. Well, Mickey first wrote. Let me see. Let me go. Wait. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. There's stuff going on here. Okay. So Mickey first wrote, "We see the world not as it is, but as we are." Oh, that's Anais Nin. Thank you for that, Mickey. Mickey's not here anymore, is she? Uh,
I'm
there she is.
here.
Yeah, there she is. I see you. Because I have the screen up, I see everything, just off sides a little bit, and then if I had to hit the arrow, and you were under the arrow. So, but there you are. I see you. Thank you. Um, yeah, we see the world not as it is, but as we are, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I make up the world the way I want it to be, and then I want to run around and tell you how you should be. This is not a puppet act. This is not me pulling your strings. This is not me thinking that because, oh, again, I'm older, or I've had more experiences than you, or I can see where your life is headed, and maybe that is where your life is headed. Maybe that is where your life is headed. Grant me the serenity, God. Grant me the serenity to accept what I can't change, the courage to change what I can, and the only thing I can change is my mind. I can't change anything outside of me. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And then Dove. Right. Yes. From the passage to beware the temptation to perceive yourself as unfairly treated. You can't be unfairly treated. Everything is exactly as it is. We can say, oh, that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't care what word you use. It is what it is. It simply is what it is. And if it wasn't supposed to be that way, then it wouldn't be that way. It is what it is. And how I choose to see it is let me remove the plank from my own eye. How I choose to see it is what makes all the difference in the world. Tough writes, he says, you gotta laugh. I came here to be unfairly treated. So I can be exactly. I'm the innocent one and you're the guilty one. Wherever there's guilt, there's gonna be pain. Wherever there's guilt, there's gonna be judgment. Wherever there's guilt, there's gonna be othering, that whole thing. That whole thing. We're writing our own script and assigning it to others, and it's in chapter 27 or 29, one of them, two of my favorite passages, but one is in 27 and one is in 29. I think it's in 27, where it talks about, don't ascribe a role to someone else that you think will make you that you think is going to make you happy. Judge not that ye be not judged. Don't judge so that you're not judged. Don't go around thinking that somebody's supposed to do it the way you want it done. Put your puppet strings away, cut them down, put them away, and enjoy living your own life. Enjoy your life by enjoying everyone else's. Just sit back and find the beauty in everything. Recognize that God is in everything you see because God is in your mind. Dr. Ernest continues with this prayer, this meditation, this affirmation. Infinite Spirit within me, which is God, cause me to think and act kindly. Constrain my mind to gentleness and peace. I love that. Constrain See, the Course says actively engage. Actively engage. Guard your thoughts. Constrain my mind to gentleness and peace. Guide my thoughts into loving kindness and eternal forgivingness. How about that? Forgivingness, which means that no matter what, all I can do is overlook, 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 one miracle after another, atone, 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 undo, undo, undo. Moment gone. Okay, next moment gone. Okay, moment gone. Hold on to nothing, the Course teaches. Hold on to nothing. Guide my thoughts into loving kindness and eternal forgivingness, and cause me in all my ways to follow the path of truth and justice. I judge no person and am judged by none, which is really the truth because they're not judging me. They're judging what they think of me, right? We're not judging them. We're judging what we think of them. It is my sincere desire, Dr. Holmes continues, it is my sincere desire that everything I do or say or think will come into harmony with universal truth and peace, with love and joy. Consciously, I let go of everything that is unkind and seeks to so enter into communion with the eternal spirit that I shall reflect to my environment. There we go, put it out there, and manifest in all that I do the spirit of kindness, of justice, and of compassion. Ah, that's pretty. That's pretty. And I will close with the quote that Dove put in the chat. For you would not react at all to figures in a dream you knew that you were, if you knew that you were dreaming. Let them be as hateful and as vicious as they may, they could have no effect on you unless you fail to recognize it is your dream. That's true. There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you, Dove. I love you all. Thank you for being here. And with that, Lynn, here's the mic.
Wait, Zoom, I want to tell you, I listened to you on the radio and I was like, I love her. Your teaching was off the charts, as usual. So thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, love.
All right. Thank you so much, Zulma, and thank you, everyone.